We all deal with dozens of emails every day. Client support, invoices, urgent follow-ups, and many more. Manually replying and organizing them kills time. So I built this smart email assistant with N8N to automate everything. Let me show you a quick demo. I just sent an email to my N8N connected account. Now, the AI analyzes the email, finds the perfect label for it, and creates an AI draft. Then, if it's urgent or whatever condition we've set in our workflow, it sends a Telegram message from a bot we created. We have 3 buttons here. Tap Yes to send the AI draft it made, Cancel to drop the process, or Tweak to modify the AI draft, where we just have to enter a prompt to update it. After modifying the draft, it again sends it back to us for review. Once we're satisfied, tap Yes to send the reply. That's it. It's going to save us a lot of time. In this video, I'm going to show you the step-by-step process to create this workflow from scratch. And at the end, your email assistant will be live. So, let's get started. First things first, we need an N8N instance. I always suggest railway.com as the best platform to host it. Their infrastructure and user interface make it easy for anyone to install and manage N8N in just a few clicks. The plans are cheaper than most other platforms, starting at just $5 a month, which includes great resources like 8 GB of RAM and 8 virtual CPUs. That's perfect for beginners or intermediate users. And if you ever want to scale, you can upgrade to higher plans without any hassle. If you use the link in my video description, you'll get a $1 credit as a bonus, which you can use to install and test it for free. To install N8N, just go to the Railway dashboard, tap on New, then Deploy a template, and search for N8N. You'll see multiple templates. The first one is the most popular, but for now, I'm choosing this minimal one, N8N with Postgres. Tap on Deploy to install. Once that's done, just tap here and you'll get the N8N dashboard link. Anytime a new version is released, just return and hit redeploy to update everything. It's that simple. I've added the link in the video description. Feel free to check it out. Okay, let's start creating our workflow. Name it Email Assistant. First, add the Gmail trigger to check for incoming emails and select the trigger on message received. Now, we need to connect our Gmail account. If you are not sure how to do that, we've made a separate video. The link is in the video description. Set the mode to every minute, so it checks for new emails every 60 seconds. Choose the event as message received. Make sure to disable the simplify option. We need the raw input from Gmail. Next, tap on Add Filters and select Search. Here, we'll add 2 filters. To fetch only unread emails, type is unread. To exclude promotional emails, use -category promotions. Now, execute this step. For testing, let's send an email from another account. This is the test message. Sending it now. Okay, it's landed in the inbox. Let's mark it as unread again, and now execute the trigger step. Perfect. We got the output. It contains all the details like sender's address, subject, body, and more. Let's pin this data. Next, we'll clean this output to extract only the necessary fields. Add a code node and paste the script I've prepared. Don't worry, all the code will be available in a blog post. In simple terms, this script takes the raw input and returns only the sender's email, subject, body, thread ID, and label ID, which we'll later use for email labeling. Now execute the code step. Great. We have the clean summary with all the required details. Back to the canvas. Now, let's add an AI agent node to analyze the email, assign a label, and generate a reply draft. Change the user message to define below. Then, here just drag and drop the email summary object. Next, we need to define the system message. This is where we'll paste our structured instructions so the AI can process the email accordingly. Let me paste it here. It's very simple. You are an intelligent email classification and assistant agent. Analyze the following email and return a pure JSON object with. After that, we need to list all the labels we've created. To do this, open your Gmail account. At the bottom of the sidebar, you'll see the labels section. Create new ones based on the types of emails you usually receive. To add a new label, just tap the plus icon, enter a name, and hit Create. To change the label color, tap the three dots, select label color, and pick one. I've created a total of 6 labels and included all of them in the system prompt. Each of these labels also has a unique label ID, which we'll need for applying labels correctly. To get the label IDs, open a temporary workflow, search for Gmail, and select Get Many Labels. Enable Return All, then execute the node. Once it's done, you may not see the new labels on the first page, since Gmail includes some default ones like Inbox and Chat. So go to the second page, and here they are. These are the labels we just created, each with its own label ID. Copy the IDs, return to the system message, and add them inside brackets like this. Let me do that for all 6 labels. Done. We've also added an instruction for draft reply, a polite short response if a reply is needed. Otherwise, use null if no reply is required. Also, if the email is from a no reply address or from social media platforms like Facebook or Instagram, do not generate a reply. In such cases, the draft reply should always be set to null, regardless of the content. So after analyzing the email, if it's found to be unnecessary, the system won't generate a reply draft. Next, after identifying the label, use the label ID given in the brackets, that means these label IDs, and call the Gmail label tool to apply that label to the email, but do not add it if the email already has one label ID. So, we are going to add a Gmail label tool, and the AI will add the appropriate label to the emails. Now imagine this. We receive an email, AI reads it, assigns a label, and sends a reply. But what if the person replies again in the same email thread? It'll trigger our workflow again. Now, if we don't handle this smartly, it might try to apply the same label again, which is unnecessary. That's why in the script, we check the label ID from the Gmail node. If the label ID is nil, that means it's a fresh email with no label. So we proceed to add the label. If it already has a label ID, that means we've already processed it before. So we skip labeling this time. This check helps us keep the workflow clean and prevents duplicate labeling. Next, call the draft email tool to draft the reply you made. Means we will be adding a draft Gmail tool node to draft the reply AI made. Next, label the email as urgent if it appears time sensitive, includes deadlines, critical issues, or requests a quick response, even if urgency is implied. All reply drafts should be signed off with Best Rajiv. You can add your own name here and customize it. Next, we added an instruction. Return only a clean JSON object. Do not include any markdown, code blocks, quotation wrappers, or explanations. Then we added an example output format. This makes sure that we get the output in the structured format. That's it. And you can customize it according to your requirements. Just copy this and go to ChatGPT and add your modifications to get the updated system message. Okay, now we have to add a chat model. Just tap on the plus icon. Here, we can select different models like DeepSeek, Gemini, OpenAI, etc. If you're looking for a free one, you can choose the Gemini chat model, where you can get the Gemini API for free. We've created a separate video on that. I'll give the link in the video description. As of now, I have the OpenAI API, so let me select the OpenAI chat model. We can choose the model as GPT 4.1 Mini. Back to Canvas. Next, we have to add 2 tools, one for labeling the email and one for drafting the reply. Just tap on the plus icon and search Gmail, then simply select it. Set the resource as thread and operation as add label. Next, we have to set the thread ID. Just tap on this icon, so the model will define it automatically. Do the same for the label ID as well. Let's set this node as Gmail label tool. Perfect. Now back to Canvas. Next, let's add the Gmail draft tool. Search Gmail again and select it. Set resource as draft and operation as create. In the subject field, just tap on this icon, so the model will define it. Do the same for the message field as well. Now tap on Add option and select Thread ID. We have to define the thread ID to create the draft in that specific email thread. Tap on the icon so it will be automatically defined. Let's change the node name to Gmail Draft Tool. Now, back to the canvas. Let's execute the AI agent node. Now it's running. Done. Let's open the AI agent node. Here is the output. It labeled the email as urgent because the message we sent had an urgent tone. And finally, here is the reply draft. At the end, we also got the draft ID, which we can use for further steps. Let's open the Gmail label tool, and here is the output. It means the labeling is done. Now, let's open the draft tool, and here is the output. It's done. To verify, let's open the email. Just refresh it, and here we go. It's labeled as urgent, and here is the draft reply. Let's go back. Next, we're going to the Telegram part. That means sending a Telegram message and processing the rest. First, we have to clean the output from the AI agent. So, let's add a code node. Delete the default code and paste this script. Actually, the code takes the input from the AI agent node as well as from the code node to extract details. Let's execute the node. It's done. In the output, we have the label, reply draft, draft ID from address, subject, and the message the user sent. Okay, on top, we can see the label string. We're only going to send Telegram messages for specific labels. For example, if an email is labeled as urgent, it's going to send a Telegram notification. For that, let's add an if node. In the value1 field, just drag and drop the label string. Set the condition as matches regex. In the value2 field, we have to define the label names. Let me add urgent. So if the label matches urgent, it's going to pass the output. We can also add multiple label names here. For example, if you want to send Telegram notifications for emails labeled as urgent, customer support, or whatever you need, you can add it like this. After one label, just add a vertical bar, and then the second label name. By the way, you can add multiple label names. Now, if the label string matches any of these, it's going to pass the output. We have to add one more condition. In the system message, we mentioned that if the email is unimportant, just make the draft reply as null. So we have to make sure that the reply draft is not empty. Here, just drag and drop the reply draft string. Change the function to string is not empty. Set this as AND, so it will check both. Let's execute the step. We got the output in the true branch because it satisfies both conditions. Otherwise, it'll show up in the false branch. Back to canvas. Okay, now from the true branch, let's add the Telegram node to send the messages. Just select Send a text message. Here, first we have to set the credentials. That means we need to create a Telegram bot to send the notification and process it further. For that, just go to Telegram. You can create it from both the mobile app as well as the web version. I'm using Telegram Web for better presentation. Just go to the search bar and search BotFather. Open this one and click on Start. From this message, tap on New Bot. Now we have to choose a name. Let's say Quick Mail Bot. You can name it whatever you like. Next, we need to choose a unique username. It must end in bot. Let's try Quick Mail Bot. This username is already taken. Let's try by adding an underscore. Also taken.
One eternity later.
Finally, we set a unique username, my Quick Mail Bot. And here we got the access token, which we can use to connect with N8N. Just copy it and go back to the N8N dashboard. Tap on Create New Credentials, paste the access token here, and hit Save. Now the account has connected successfully. Close this, and here set the operation as Send Message. Next, we have to add our chat ID here. Then only the bot can send notifications to us. Chat ID is a unique ID every Telegram profile has. To get this ID, just open the temporary workflow we made earlier. Refresh the page to load the Telegram credentials we created. Then just tap on the plus icon and search Telegram. Select it and set the trigger as On Message. Execute the step. Now it's listening for the test event. Now go back to Telegram and click on our bot link here. Just tap on Start, so it's gonna send a command like this. Back to the N8N dashboard. Yes, it's triggered for our message. In the output, we can see an ID. This is our Telegram profile's unique chat ID. Just copy this and paste it here. Next, we have to set the Telegram message. Let's make it an expression and open this. Let's add new email, then add the email details like from address, subject, etc. Here, just drag and drop the from string. Next, subject. Drag and drop the subject string. Now the message or email body, drag and drop the message string. Let's add a simple breaker to keep the structure clear. Now, let's add the AI draft reply. Drag and drop the reply draft string. Add one more breaker. In this message, we are going to add 3 buttons, so we can simply click once we receive the message. So let's add reply to this message with, then yes to send the mail, tweak to edit the draft reply, and cancel to discard or stop the process. Close this. Now we have to add the buttons. Select the reply markup as inline keyboard. Tap on Add Keyboard Row, Add Button. Add the button text as yes. Here, when the user taps on the button, it will be returned as a callback query. So, just imagine if there are multiple emails in chat, our workflow has to identify which email the user tapped the button for. For that, we are using the callback data. There, we'll add the unique email message ID. Here, just add approve underscore. Next for the message ID, just open the Gmail trigger. Here we can find the ID string, which will be unique for every email we receive. Just drag and drop it like this. Now whenever the user taps yes, it will send this callback data. Then we can extract the message ID and process it. In this way, we have to add 2 more buttons, one for tweak and one for cancel. Tap on Add button, text as tweak. Add field, callback data. Just copy the above one, paste it here, and change approve to tweak. Now let's add the cancel button. Add field, callback data. Paste the copied one and change approve to cancel. It's done. Now scroll down, tap on Add field. Select Append N8N attribution. Just disable it. Otherwise, it's gonna add the default N8N watermark below our message. Now we have added everything. Let's execute the step. It's done, and the message has been sent. Let's open Telegram, and here we go. We have received the message, which contains all the defined details, like from address, subject, message, and the AI draft. At the bottom, we can see the buttons. Next, we have to store these details, like message ID, AI draft, draft ID, somewhere, so later when we tap on the buttons, we can retrieve the data and process it accordingly. For that, we are using Redis, a super fast in-memory database used to store data temporarily. From the if node, just add it and select the action. Set the value of a key. First, we need to connect an account. Railway offers one-click deployment for databases like this. Tap on the plus icon. Go to Databases and choose it from the list. The setup completes in seconds. Alternatively, you can create a free instance from upstash.com. Okay, here it's deployed. From the variables section, we can copy the variables to connect it with N8N. Let's copy-paste the password, user, and host. Keep the port and database number as default and hit save. It connected successfully. Close it. In the key column, let's add the ID string from the Gmail trigger, which we have also added in the Telegram message button's callback data, so it's easy to extract. In the value column, just make it an expression. Here we have to paste this script. It takes the message ID from the Gmail trigger and the draft reply, and draft ID from the if node. Close this and let's execute the step. It's done, and it saved the data on Redis. Now we have done the first part of our workflow. Next, we have to set up the Telegram part. That means, when we tap on yes, the workflow has to send the mail. On tweak, it has to update the AI draft based on our prompt. And on cancel, it has to delete the draft and stop the process. For that, first let's add a Telegram trigger. Set the trigger as onCallbackQuery. When we tap on the Telegram message buttons, it will return as a callback query. Here, we have to add one more trigger. In the drop-down, select Message. whenever we tap on tweak, we will send another message. Something like, please enter your prompt to update the draft reply. Then we have to enter the prompt manually. That's why we added the message trigger too. Let's execute this step. Now it's waiting for a test event. Let's go to Telegram and tap on yes for now. Okay, now it has triggered our workflow, and here we can see the callback details. Here is the text message we sent. Here are the buttons. And at the bottom, we can see a data string, which contains the callback data. It shows approve because we tapped on yes. Let's pin this data. Next, we have to add a node to verify that the messages are coming from our own Telegram ID. Since we created this bot using BotFather, it is publicly available. Anyone who gets this Telegram bot link can send messages to this bot, which may cause errors in our workflow. To check that, we are adding an if node. In the value1 field, just drag and drop the ID string. And at the end, we have to add dot to string open and close parentheses. Keep the condition as equal to and just copy this result and paste it here. We have to add one more condition here because when we tap tweak here, we have to enter the prompt for modifying the reply draft. So it will trigger our workflow as a message, not a callback query, which we will add in the next part. Let's execute the step, and we got the output in the true branch. Back to canvas. Next, we are adding a switch node because we have to identify if it's a callback query or a message. In the value1 field, just drag and drop the callback object. Change the condition to object exists. We have to add one more condition later to check if it's a message, so we can route it to a different section. Now let's do the approve part. That means when we tap on yes, we have to send the draft we made. Just execute the step. Here we got the output. On the bottom, we can see the callback details. Next, we have to add one more switch node to check if the data string contains approve, tweak, or cancel, so we can route it to different sections. Tap on the plus icon and add a switch node. In the value1 field, just drag and drop the data string like this. Change the condition to string contains. In value2 field, just add approve. We have to add two more routings for tweak and cancel. Here, just drag and drop the data string. Set the same condition. String contains. Add cancel here. Add one more for tweak. Now this node routes our reply to different sections. Let's execute. We got the output in output 0 because it's approve. Otherwise, it's gonna go out in output 1 or 2 depending on the button we click. Back to canvas. First, we are creating the approve part. That means when we tap on the yes button. Okay, first we have to take the email data from the database. So just tap on this plus icon, search for Redis, and set the action as get the value of a key. Let's set the name as draft details. Here, we have to add the key. Before, when we save the data, we use the message ID as the key. So here we have to use that same key to retrieve the saved details. At the bottom, in the data string, we can see the message ID. That's why we kept that in the callback data. I hope you understood the logic now. Here, just drag and drop the data string. And it will look like this. We only need the message ID part. For that, just add dot split open parenthesis, quote underscore, square bracket 1. By the way, this will result in only the message ID. Let's execute the step and we got the saved details here. Next, once we tap on yes, we will send the email and also delete the data. After that, if we click on the buttons again, it's going to trigger the workflow again. But at that time, the data will be empty, which will result in an error in our workflow. To avoid that, we are adding a switch node to check if the data is not empty, to send the email. Otherwise, let's add a Telegram reply, like, this email has already been processed earlier. In value1 field, drag and drop the draft details string. Set the condition as string is not empty. Add one more routing rule. Here set the condition as string is empty. Execute the step. We got the output here because it's not empty. Next, we are going to add the Gmail node to send the AI draft reply. But before that, let's clean the output by adding a code node. Here, just paste this code. This cleans the output and converts the draft reply into HTML. Let's execute the step, and here is the output. Back to Canvas. Now let's add the Gmail node. Set the action as reply to a message. In this field, just drag and drop the message ID string, so it will reply to that specific email. Keep the email type as HTML. In the message field, drag and drop the draft reply string. Tap on Add option, select Append attribution, and turn it off to avoid the default N8N watermark. Let's execute the step. It sent the email. To verify, open Gmail and here we go. Here is the reply. When we check here, the draft made in Gmail itself is still there because we use the data from Redis to send the reply. And in the current N8N Gmail node, there is no option to send the draft we created by draft ID or anything. The reason why we created the draft is that at any point, if we go directly to manage emails, we don't have to create a reply from scratch. We can use this or just modify it a bit. So once we send the email, we just have to delete this draft. Before that, from this Gmail node, let's add a Telegram node to send a message back like the email reply has been sent or something once we send the email. In chat ID, just add our own chat ID. In the text field, let's add done. The email reply has been sent. Now click on Add field and select Reply to Message ID. So once we tap on Yes, it sends a message like replying to that specific message. So we don't get confused after that. Here we have to add the message ID. For that, open the Telegram trigger output, and here we can see the message ID. Just drag and drop it. Execute the step, and the message has been sent. Let's open Telegram, and here we go. Here is the message. It shows the N8N attribution because we didn't turn it off. For that, tap on Add field, select Append attribution, and just disable it. Let's change the node name to Reply Sent. Next, once we send the email, we have to delete that email data from Redis. Otherwise, it's gonna stay there forever. For that, let's add another Redis node. Set the action as delete a key. In the key field, we have to add the message ID. For that, scroll down to the Telegram node and just drag and drop the data string. We have to remove the extra part, so just add dot split open parenthesis, quote underscore, square bracket 1. Now, we aren't executing this yet because we still have to create the rest of the parts like cancel and tweak. Next, as mentioned before, let's delete the draft. Just from the code node, add a Gmail node and set the action as delete a draft. Here, just drag and drop the draft ID string. Execute the step. It's done. Let's refresh the mail, and it deleted the pending draft. Okay, and as I mentioned before, once we send the email, it deletes the data from Redis. Then, if we are clicking the buttons again, it will trigger the workflow again, and Redis outputs an empty response. That's why we added the switch node to check it. And from the empty output, we are adding a Telegram node to send a message like the reply for this email was already sent or cancelled earlier. Here, add the chat ID. In the text field, let's add the reply for this email was already sent or cancelled earlier. Click on Add field, reply to message ID. From the Telegram trigger, add the message ID string like this. Click on Add field again, append N8N attribution and turn it off. Let's change the node name to already took an action. Perfect. Now it's gonna send the notification if the Redis key is empty. Now we have done the approve part. Next, let's do the cancel part. That means when we tap cancel, we have to delete the draft, Redis data, and send a Telegram message like the draft has been discarded. Now it's gonna be simple because we are going to connect it to many nodes we created already. Let's execute the step. Now it's listening for a test event. Go to Telegram and tap on cancel. It triggered our workflow. At the bottom, we can see the data string with the callback data. Let's pin this node and execute the switch node. It's done. Now we got the output in output 1 because the callback data is cancel. First, we have to duplicate these two nodes to check if the stored value isn't empty. Just select both and press Ctrl C and Ctrl V. Connect them to the switch node. Now open this one and move the empty condition to the top. Let's execute it. Done, and we got the output in output 1. because the data isn't empty. If it's empty, it'll output in output 0. Now from the empty condition, let's connect it to this already took an action Telegram node. So if it's empty, it will send a reply like already processed this earlier. Next, we have to delete the draft. So let's add a code node to clean the output. Here, paste this script. It takes the draft ID from this draft details. And here we got the draft ID. Back to canvas. Now, from the code node, let's connect it to this so it will delete the draft. Next, let's add a Telegram node to send a notification like the reply has been discarded and draft removed. For that, just copy paste this node, connect it from the code node, open it. Let's change the node name to reply cancelled. Keep the rest of the things as default. Let's change the text message to the reply has been discarded and draft removed. Let's execute the step. It's done. Let's check Telegram. And here we go, we got the message. The reply has been discarded and draft removed. Next, once we delete the draft, we have to delete data from Redis too. So, from the Telegram node, simply connect it with this delete Redis node. Now, the cancel part is done. Let's move to the third one. When we tap on tweak, it means we have to modify the draft. Let's clear the execution and unpin the data. Execute the step, now it's listening. Go to Telegram, tap on tweak, back to the dashboard, and it triggered our workflow. On the bottom, we can see the data string with the tweak callback data. Back to canvas, let's execute this switch node. Here, we got the output in output 2. As we did earlier, let's copy paste these two nodes to check if Redis data is available. Connect it with the switch node. Let's execute the step, and we got the output in the not empty condition. From the empty condition, just connect it with this Telegram node. So it will send an already took action message. Next, we are going to add a Telegram node to send a message like, please enter your prompt to modify the draft reply. Just duplicate this node, connect it with the switch node. Just open it, and in the text field, remove the existing content and set it as an expression. Let's add the text message. Got it. Please type the changes you'd like. I'll update the draft and share it back for review. Please reply to this specific message so we can track your update properly. Next, we have to include the message ID in this so we can track it properly, and our workflow can identify to which message and email we replied. For that, add open code tag ID:. Then from the Telegram trigger, just drag and drop the data string, and it will result like this. We have to remove this part. So at the end, just add .split underscore in quotes, square bracket 1. Now it results in only the message ID. At the end, just add the closing code tag like this. It's done. Now close it. In reply markup, select force reply. Tap on add field. Select force reply and turn it on. By this way, when we send this message, it automatically forces us to reply to that specific message so we can track it easily. Now scroll down to the bottom. Let's delete this. Now tap on add field. Select parse mode and set it as HTML. Now execute the step. It's done. Let's open Telegram, and here is the message. It shows the N8N watermark because we didn't turn it off. For that, just tap on add field. Select append N8N attribution and turn it off. Okay, currently in the web version of Telegram, there is a bug. The force reply feature isn't working. So if we are using the web version, we have to manually add the reply to message while sending the prompt. But in the mobile app, it's working perfectly. Back to the dashboard, let's change the node name to send tweak message. Back to canvas. Now we are going to the final part. To process the tweak prompt, let's clear the executions, unpin the data, execute the step, go to Telegram, and let's enter a prompt to modify the draft reply. Let's say, just ask a convenient time to connect by tomorrow. Let's send it. And here, it triggered our workflow. Here is the output. We can see it's a reply to a message. Here's the text message it sent. And on the bottom, we can see the prompt. Back to canvas. Now open the if node. As we mentioned before, we have to add one more condition here because now it's not a callback query. Keep this as OR. In value, one field, drag and drop the ID string. At the end, add dot to string with parentheses. Now copy the chat ID and paste it here. Now let's execute the step. It's done. We got the output in the true branch because it satisfies one of its conditions. Back to Canvas. Open the switch node. Here we have to add one more routing rule. In value 1 field, drag and drop the reply to message object. Change the condition to object exists. Execute the step. And we got the output in output 1. Now from output 1, let's add the Redis node to fetch the data first. Set the action as get the value of a key from Redis. In the key field, make it an expression and paste the script which extracts the message ID from the text message we sent earlier. And here is the message ID. Let's change the name to draft details, execute the step, and here is the data from Redis. Next, we are adding an AI agent with this draft details and the prompt we sent to modify the draft reply. Tap on the plus icon, add AI agent node. Change this to define below. Here add user prompt. Then from the Telegram node, drag and drop the text string. Existing draft, drag and drop the draft details string. Perfect. Now tap on add option. Select system message. Here just paste this simple system message. You are an AI assistant that helps write professional email replies. Improve the given draft based on the user's new instructions while keeping the tone formal, clear, and concise. Reply only with the updated draft, message ID, and draft ID. Close it. Now let's add a chat model. Let me select OpenAI chat model. You can select any other model too. Back to Canvas. Now let's execute the step. It's done. And here is the updated draft based on our prompt. Now to clean the output, let's add a code node and paste this script. This actually takes the input and gives the output with message ID, updated draft reply, and draft ID. Let's execute it. And here is the output. Back to Canvas. Now let's add a Telegram node to send the updated draft reply for approval. For ease, let's copy-paste this node. Bring it here, connect it with the code node, open it. Let's change the node name to send updated draft. Next, open the text message. Let's delete this part. Let's add updated AI draft. Then drag and drop the draft reply string. Close this. And in the button callback data, we have to change the expression. Just delete this and add the message ID string. Do the same for all these buttons. Scroll down to the bottom. Tap on Add field and select Reply to Message ID. This way, it will reply to that specific prompt message. Now from the Telegram trigger, just drag and drop the message ID string. Now let's execute the step and it's done. Let's open Telegram and here is the message with the updated draft. If we are satisfied, we can tap on Yes. If we want to update again, just tap on Tweak or to cancel. Use the Cancel button. Next, we have to add a Redis node to update the data in Redis with the updated draft. Because if we need to tweak again, we have to take the updated draft, not the old one. From the code node, add Redis. Set the action as set the value of a key in Redis. In the key field, just drag and drop the message ID. In the value column, make it an expression and paste this script. This will update the Redis data with message ID, updated draft reply, and draft ID. Close it. And let's execute the step. It's done. Now back to Canvas. Next, we have to delete the draft. But before that, we are adding an if node to check if the draft ID exists in the Redis data. So from the code node, add an if node. In value 1 field, drag and drop the draft ID string. Change the condition to string exists. We got the output in the true branch. Now from the true branch, simply connect it with this Gmail node to delete the draft. Let me quickly revise the workflow logic once again. First, this Gmail trigger triggers when a new email is received. The code node cleans the output. The AI agent analyzes the email content and adds a suitable label and creates an AI draft reply. This code node cleans the output. This if node just checks if the labels satisfy the mentioned label names and makes sure that the draft reply is not empty. Then this Telegram node sends the message to us with email details and the draft reply with buttons. Then we save those details in Redis. And here, when we tap on any of those buttons or when we send prompts to update the AI draft, it will trigger this Telegram trigger node. The if node makes sure that the message comes from our mentioned chat ID. This switch node routes based on whether this is a callback data or a reply to a message. If the callback data is yes, first it will check if the Redis data is available with the message ID. If it's available, it sends the mail, then a Telegram message, and finally deletes the Redis data. Also, it will delete the draft. If the Redis data is not available, this will send a Telegram message like, "This has been already processed." If the callback data is cancelled, first it will check if the data is available in Redis. If not, it will send a Telegram message like, "This has been already processed." If available, it will delete the draft and send a Telegram message that it's been cancelled. Finally, it deletes the Redis data. If we tap on tweak, it will check if the Redis data is available. If available, it sends a Telegram message saying, "Please enter your prompt to update the draft reply." Once we type the prompt, it will be routed here through the switch node. Then it fetches the data from Redis using the message ID. After that, the AI agent node updates the reply by analyzing the current draft reply and the user prompt. Then it sends the updated AI draft to Telegram again for approval. This also updates the draft details in Redis for future processing. And if the draft ID is available, it will delete the Gmail draft as well. Okay, now it's time for the final test. Let's activate the workflow. While doing a quick test, I just found a minor error in the delete draft node. Let's debug it. This error occurs when we modify a draft multiple times, because after the first tweak, the draft ID will no longer be available in Redis. To fix this, just delete these two and keep the if node here. Then connect both of those branches to this if node. Now the error should be resolved. Let's do the final test. Here, I have created the same email content. Let's send it. Now let's check the execution. Done. It processed and sent the Telegram message. Let's open Telegram and here we go. Here is the email detail. Let's tap on tweak to modify the draft. And we got the message to enter the prompt. And it automatically added the force reply feature. Let's enter the prompt. Something like, "Just ask convenient time by tomorrow." Let's send it. Now we got the updated draft. Let's tweak once again. Let's enter the prompt as, "Best regards, Rajiv." Now we got the new AI draft. Let's tap on yes to send the email. It's done, and we got the response. Let's check that email now. And here we go. Here is the email with our AI reply, as well as the label. And here is the response we got. Let's reply to it once again. Here it triggered our workflow. It's done. And here we got the Telegram message. This time, let's tap on cancel. And we got the response. The reply has been discarded. Now to check, let's tap on the buttons for the emails that we already processed. And we got the message. The reply for this email was already sent or cancelled earlier. So, it's perfectly working. One more thing. If you're replying from Telegram web, we have to manually use the reply to message feature while entering the prompt because there is a bug in Telegram. I hope it will be fixed soon. I will provide all the resources, link in the video description. Also, we'll include the workflow, JSON file to download and use this. And that's all about today. I have tried my best to explain all the things. Still, if you have any doubts, feel free to let me know in the comments. And we will be uploading more AI and automation tutorials in the upcoming days. So don't forget to like and subscribe. It's totally free. Until the next time, it's me, Rajiv, signing off.